'cause you hate me. Now my life is sweet like cinnamon. Take a name out of your mouth. You don't deserve to mourn. You just love the attention.
3 things I wish I knew before I transitioned to male. 1. That injecting myself with cross-sex hormones actually was harming and damaging my perfectly healthy body. 2. That changing my identity and changing my body wasn't actually going to heal the pain I had within myself. It was just an escape that created actually more trauma for me. 3. That it was okay to be a tomboy and not fit into society's beauty standards of what a woman was supposed to be like. That I was perfect the way I was and I didn't need to.
It stops there. Okay, so I didn't know it was gonna stop there. It's just a short, and so I wish I would have saw the whole story. Like maybe I can find it or dig it up or something. All right, so that was a compilation of Detransitioners. I think probably was originally posted on TikTok. I'm shocked by how fast I feel like this movement is actually ending. I think it's still something to be talked about, and we still need to keep our foot on the neck of all these, these medical professionals and the big pharma and stuff like that, trying to push these indoctrinate kids into thinking that just because you are not girly and you like boy stuff, traditional boy stuff, or societally traditional boy stuff means that you're not your gender, or just because you're having an uncomfortable puberty development does not mean that you are in different gender or whatever. Like all the reasons why they say that this is the reason why you're in the wrong body is usually a lot of just normal adolescent puberty growing pain stuff that we've all gone through, instead of allowing people to destroy their bodies and maybe their future potentially. Just let them go through that process. When I first saw this movement, I remember when I first saw it when Jazz Jenny was really little. That's when it first sparked. But most recently, in the last 6-7 years, I saw this trend picking up a pace, and I honestly thought it was going to take 10, 20, 15 years to start really hearing these kids' voices. But it happened fairly quickly. Again, if you're following along, the Detransitioners over 50,000, 60,000 now on Reddit, more and more people are coming out to the point where now the trans activists can't even ignore it. They used to just straight up ignore it, in debates and stuff. They'd be like, that doesn't happen, that never happens. But now it's more okay, yeah, it happens, and their stories are valid, but come on, it's a tiny percent. Who cares if some kids get harmed? I always thought that was a weird response when people say kids are being harmed. You're like, oh, okay, come on, it's just a tiny amount of kids are being harmed. Just, really? That's your response? Anyway, I like the fact that it's becoming more normalized to detrans and to talk about detransitioning to the point where it's just a TikTok trend or it's a TikTok hashtag, because this is how the younger generation communicates. So I feel if you make it more normalized, then more people will come out and detrans, because from what I've heard from other detransitioners testimony, they know people who regret it, who do want to detrans, but they're just scared. They're scared of the backlash. They're scared of the being exiled, all of the loss of the community that they developed from the trans or the queer or the LGBTQ plus community online. And they're scared that they won't be able to actually detransition, they won't be able to get back what they lost. And so some of them just sort of suck it up and stay in it. But I think if you make it more normalized, we're hey, I did this thing, boy, it was crazy, and now this is my testament, this is my story, you know what I mean? So I like the fact that this is happening. I think this is a good thing. More people coming out and feel comfortable at it. All of these detransitioners look very beautiful, how they're originally supposed to look. I miss the days of just being love the skin you're in. This person telling their testimony, saying that detransitioning wasn't going to cover up whatever psychological damage or mental damage that they were going through, that it just made it worse. And again, if you read a lot of detransitioner testimonies, a lot of them had undiagnosed mental illness and other issues going on. Some of them were victimized by awful family members and friends sexually, and this was their way of escaping that. Instead of tackling that, instead of medical professionals, doctors and psychologists and this so-called community online actually digging through the roots and understanding what's really causing them to feel this way and give them true help instead of damaging them further. So I'm glad that they spoke about it, because there's a lot of detransitioners testimonies, and it's okay to be a fucking tomboy. I don't know why this new generation honestly don't understand that this is this whole I don't really feel like a girl, and I don't feel like a boy, and I'm gender fluid, and I want to wear boy clothes and do boy things. Like, that's been a thing forever, and we called it tomboy. You know, it's been tomboy. It was worse for boys who wanted to do girly things because they usually had more insulting words like sissy and stuff like that, which I think is wrong. But I was a tomboy. I grew up a tomboy, and I'm pretty sure if I was a Gen Zer, I would have been sucked into this community. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it, and I've talked about it quite a bit on my channel, especially in the past, is because I would have definitely been sucked into this community. I'm queer. I was abused a lot as a kid, sexually and physically and mentally and emotionally, and I was a tomboy. I like boy things, and I still kind of like boy things. So I would have definitely been sucked into this community and probably lost my perfectly beautiful tits. Who would have wanted that? I would have wanted that. So yeah, like I think it's great that it's becoming more normalized online. People aren't ignoring them, and I think just as much as the adolescents and the kids who came out as trans and they got praised and they got rewarded and they got a community, I think we should do the exact same thing for the detransitioners who came out and bravely said, I made a mistake, this was actually what the real issue is, and tell their testimonies. We should applaud them, we should support them, and there should be a community support for them, just like the other way around. Anyway guys, tell me what you think of this video in the comment section below. If you know any detransitioners, were you a tomboy, or the opposite way around, were you a tomboy growing up? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All that really does help with the algorithm, guys. You can donate, it helps keep me on this platform, and you guys have an amazing, beautiful fucking day.